Hey guys, I'm here with Erik Velie. He is my lawyer and really good buddy. I've known Erik for probably 10 years now, and he is my go-to for any, legal issues, or also he's just an all-around good dude, entrepreneur like myself. So today we are at his offices. We'll give you a tour of the office in a minute as well, that I helped him design, and really we're just gonna get his story and talk it up with him. Erik, thanks for doing this. I know you're super busy. Let's jump in, man. Tell me your origin story. Who is Erik Velie?
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
Well, first, thanks, Will, for having me, and I appreciate you designing this office. This place was totally gutted, and Will got in here and designed the whole place, and it was really something special having a close friend do that for you. So that really means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I know Will and his brother for quite some time. They're developers. My goal growing up was to be an entrepreneur, and I was able to be fortunate enough to go to law school and finish it at USC, and had a lot of student loans, so I was kind of forced into becoming a lawyer. I was more interested in being kind of a business person.
So when you started, it wasn't your intentions on being a lawyer? You were just sort of going through the motions? Yeah,
I went to law school more to be well-rounded and to use those skills to be a business person. But when I finished with so much student loans, I had quite a bit of student loans coming out. So I worked on resolving those. Decided that a good business model was being an attorney, and I enjoy helping people. It's a business of servicing people, and I think the more people you help, the more successful you are. But it also feels good to help people. So I do personal injury law mainly now. I represented a ton of real estate developers, including Jeff Palmer and your brother and yourself.
Oh, I know that.
Palmer, I think, owns most of the units in LA for apartment housing. He's a good guy, and he built some really nice buildings. So I've been fortunate to work with him for some time. But yeah, mainly I do personal injury matters as well now. I think it's a better way to service the everyday guy.
So Erik we're definitely cut from the same cloth on the entrepreneur level. There's so many of my friends and colleagues and business associates that just do one thing. I mean, they're awesome at it. My brother's developer, boom, 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 bangs that out. That's what he does. But they don't sort of venture into other areas. Erik loves art. He knows that art costs money, and and he surrounds himself with really cool artists and embeds himself in that culture, which is awesome. He's also not afraid of an investment. He's big into cryptocurrency. He invests in you're doing like CBD and stuff too, right? And like different investments in that area?
Yeah, with investments, I try to invest in things that help the society move forward. Yeah. And I think cryptocurrency with Bitcoin is an interesting way as far as dealing with financial issues moving forward. I think there's a lot of issues with currencies and their values and inflation. So we'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, he's a big advocate on this. He got me to jump in there a little bit. I tasted. He told me to hold it all, but I went in for a quick pop. I saw that it was down here, jumped in, made a quick 10-15 grand, and bailed when it got up there pretty high.
And then I was also fortunate to meet a guy named Jason Kalinakis this year. He was one of the founding members of Robinhood and Uber and Lyft.
Oh, wow.
And he has kind of mentored me, so I'm starting to invest in some other startup companies that hopefully will have a significant impact, hopefully on real estate, and also again on technology, AI, and some cloud-based products. So hopefully it'll be productive and it'll help everyday people.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tell us about, and he invests in a lot of real estate too. He's very modest and all that, but Erik is definitely a beast. He gets things done like me. He's not afraid of making a decision right away if needed. And a lot of times in business, that's what makes it or breaks it, is actually being about it and doing it and jumping in and saying, you know what, boom, boom, I've done enough homework, let's go. And tell everybody about this building itself and how this came about and why you purchased this property.
So the Newhall area is kind of up and coming. This is like the Valencia kind of area. I think people are starting to move further and further out of downtown LA, mainly because they're looking for better schools and more of a community aspect where their kid can ride a bike around and kind of develop property that hasn't been developed before. And I'd like to be a part of that. So I'm excited to be out here. I found these two lots that were up for sale. This property actually used to be a beauty salon. On the bottom floor, on the upstairs, it was empty. So we're able to buy this with a lot next door. I tried to buy the other lot next door because I thought at some point I could build probably 40 apartment units, but unfortunately one of the other people bought the house, but I'm still talking to him. But I just think it's a great community. It's a great place to put my roots down. I also have an office in Manhattan Beach, but this is where I kind of live. So I really enjoy just being in this area.
Yeah, this area, just to give you a little background too, it's probably one of the older areas out here. Originally has really deep roots in this area, and it's kind of like one of those old towns where you have all these established buildings that you sort of have to build around. So it has really unique sort of turns and angles and stuff, not like a super grid like everything else out here. Main Street is literally a block away. That's where all the shops are at. There's like microbreweries. It's very artsy. It's kind of like what downtown Vegas is now. It had the old Vegas, it has the old Vegas charm and all of that, but at the same time, it's now super hip and artsy and just sort of is taking on a new life, and that's what this area is over here. Like you said, a lot of families come out here to put their kids in school. Schools are really great out here. Also, the Metro Link is a block away, which is fantastic for accessibility. There's a park around the corner. I mean, this is a great property. So this is a 2-unit office commercial property on 2 lots. And when we got a hold of, when he bought it, he told me that he was buying the property. So we went over here to walk it. We walked around the property, and I started sort of painting a picture for him of things I saw, like enclosing the back, so all these random cars that he didn't know who they were can just sort of piss off, and so we put that on an automatic motor in the front, closing that off so people don't pass through your property, and just making it hip and live. He was a little afraid of the angle that I wanted to take with a lot of the wood, and the color and all of that. But I ended up the result looks beautiful. We'll show you here in a minute. What did you pick this up for?
I think I bought this for $680.
That's a good
deal. I think, or $670. Yeah.
And how big is it? Or the 2 lots?
They're both 25 feet by 75 feet lots, so they're next to each other. The square footage here is about 2,000 square feet, and I'm free to build residential, commercial next door.
That's great.
So I'm just trying to figure that out. I think I'm gonna invest some more into the building and kind of get that to a point where I get a construction loan, and then we'll probably try to take a shot at building a couple other units on the property and see what we can do there.
Hey, we have a lot of a lot of property in the back that you can do.
Right.
Pretty substantial back there. But
yeah.
No, it's a good purchase, and definitely having this as your home base and somewhere like you said that you can put down your roots is a fantastic idea. So you said you went to USC. Where did you go before? Did you go there for law school, or you went there for undergrad?
Yeah, so I went to San Diego State originally, and then studied at Oxford for a while. I finished San Diego State with a degree in finance, and then went to Loyola Law School my first year and did pretty well there. So I ended up transferring to USC Law School, and I finished there.
And you did a year there as well?
Yeah, I did a year at Loyola and then 2 years at USC to finish.
Nice.
And took the bar, and then started working for some real estate law firms up until I started my practice.
Very cool. When I first met Eric, he was working at this other law firm, practicing mostly real estate law and things like that. And tell me about that experience with them, because what you did over there was kind of gangster in that, you saw that you weren't going to be the partner. You just said, you know what, screw this, I'm going to go off my own and do my own thing. That's basically what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point when you're a lawyer, just like any other business, it's kind of like a pyramid scheme, right? Whoever starts the company gets the lion's share of the benefit. So I don't think that's anything different than any other business.
Yeah.
I thought that I was providing a tremendous amount of value to that firm, and I don't think that they were compensating me, at a commiserate amount. Obviously, I have some loyalty there, so I would have, if they were fair, I would have been fair.
Yeah.
But at some point, I thought it was just the right time to leave, and obviously, that's a big risk,
Yeah,
but I think everyone should take that jump in this life, because you don't want to leave.
And you did it young. I mean, how old are you, Eric? You're a little
37.
Younger. Yeah, it's 37. I'm 39. And to take that kind of jump and leap so early in your career, I mean, really, that is early. I mean, how long were you there for?
I was practicing probably for 7 years before I started my firm.
7 years in, started his own firm.
Yeah.
That's pretty gangster, man. That's awesome. And things are going good?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, things are going good.
That's great, man. And so tell me about some of your other investments. You have real estate. You have your.
I invested in a company called Blockable, which they do manufactured housing out of a warehouse.
Okay.
And then instead of building on the lot, they'll build like Lego sets. Like they'll build at the warehouse, and they'll bring those Legos there and assemble. And so we're trying to change California laws and laws in other states so they can start that process to solve the expensive housing crisis.
That's awesome.
And,
are they doing sort of, how big are the units that they're designing?
They could be enormous, but if you go on blockable.com, you can check it out. It's pretty interesting what they're doing. I invest in some artificial intelligence, related to analyzing data.
Yeah.
Some company called Sphere that's starting that there. Their pre-seed round I just got in on. And then there's a couple other accounting-based companies for, I think, small businesses, and accounting and bookkeeping is going to be important for cloud-based software in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to pay for that anymore, so they're going to outsource it. So I've invested in a couple of those companies as well.
That's really smart, man. I love that. So how long do you see yourself out here, or is this somewhere that you're out here in the desert in the Santa Clarita area? Is this somewhere where do you want to get to LA at some point?
No, I'm gonna be here the rest of my life. So
okay.
this is where I'm gonna be. So will I own a place in LA at some point? Maybe.
Yeah.
Will I sell my house out here? No, I'm always gonna own my house here. So.
What kind of real estate are you invested in right now, aside from this and your property?
We have a 9-unit project with your brother in North Hollywood, which is supposed to be done in the next month. Hopefully we'll do okay on that. I had a Boyle Heights project where we picked up a house and demolished it and developed 4 units, which we did really well on. I think that was a full 2x for my investment in less than a year. So that was great. I have another one of those projects down there, which I'm a small investor in. And as far as real estate is concerned, I'm a little bit on the sideline right now, so I think I'm going to hold on.
Do you just feel like the air is too thick?
I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
So I don't need to take a risk right now, so I'm not going to.
Cool, man. Yeah. Tell me about art. I know that you love art, and you're friends with a lot of artists, and just like me, I love art, and I invest in art.
I try to look for artists that I really like. This is Jay Lyons. He's kind of up and coming. He's got some things in New York. One of my lawyer friends took some photographs. He's really good, so I got them framed. I think Anthony Reed did a couple of these other ones, and just various street artists that I enjoy and follow. Don't really expect to get a return on investment on some of these things, but I like art, so I like buying it, and I do it. Some of these things have gone up a lot in value, but just kind of. Just whatever I feel like.
It's one of those sleepers too. People don't realize it, but art. It does go from value. It absolutely does, especially if you bag the right horse. People like Jack Nicholson, for instance. Very few people know this about him. He's made more money equity in his art that he purchased. Think about it. He kicked it with Warhol and this and that. All those people coming up, and he was just collecting it. But he has a huge collection of art. He paints himself. And his collection, I would say, is probably worth $1 billion. I've never seen it. I've only heard stories about it.
I was with Rod Stewart's son on Saturday for that fight, that Instagram fight or whatever it was, and he was talking about his dad's Rod Stewart. His dad had his most of his wealth from art as well. So it just depends who you find. Even with watches, I love watches. I think I bought a Rolex for $25,000 a year ago. It's worth $50,000 now. So you have no idea what you might get lucky on. Hopefully I have a nice eye and I'm lucky. I don't know.
Well, it's fun. And if you can afford it, then do it.
Yeah.
Eric is also a big believer in paying things off. He likes to I was talking about his property, and he's like, look, I want to pay it off. I don't like owing money on anything. I want to pay it off. And I'm more of the dude, you're young. Make some moves with that money. Put it in play. And he's like, I'm making moves elsewhere anyways. I don't need to, And I respect that because it's more of an older person's mentality where they want to kind of pay things off and do this and that. But I respect the hell out of you for that. And a lot of people do not. They want to be over leveraged and just sort of put all their eggs out there, So I respect you for that. Also, Eric is a big poker player. He's actually won a WPT event at Commerce?
At the bike.
At the bike. And so that we have that in common. We love playing poker. He's a super aggressive poker player. I played with him. But he gets how people work, and he likes pushing people's buttons and limits and, tell us a bit about how you got into poker. What sort of brought you into sort of that area?
Well, I got into poker because I was broke, in law school, didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
The game had just kind of broken out. It was a lot easier.
Same generation, it was like the money maker, then all of a sudden.
Yeah, so it was a lot easier to make money back then, and so I used that as a way to pay bills and pay off my student loans.
You were rounding then, huh? You were actually making money. Where were you playing?
I was playing the bicycle mainly, so it was a fun time. Your hourly rate was, probably $25 an hour, which was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Now I don't really play as much because that hourly rate doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So,
yeah, exactly.
Do
you find that it takes more to get you excited now? Like you got to play with bigger sums to get excited?
Yeah, if I'm gonna play a tournament, it's gotta be something that's
something that's substantial.
It's gotta be something prestigious or something for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, I know you played in a couple World Series events too.
Yeah.
And any luck there?
I've made day 2 of the main event 2 times, but
Okay.
I've only played twice. I didn't play particularly well each time, so
yeah.
But I'll do it again.
That's fun. Yeah, I've yet to play in a World Series event, but it's definitely on my list of things to do and check out. But I don't want to keep you too much. I really appreciate you taking this time. Why don't you show us the office a little bit? We'll walk around,
let's do it.
Film the office, and see how everything's finished off. Eric, I'm gonna get out of your hair, buddy. I really appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
Remember, guys, design, invest, and repeat.
Thank you.